G'day everybody and welcome. I'm Rex Hunt. This is our YouTube broadcast right across the planet and we're glad that you've tuned the dial. Well, the seasons are changing. Here in Australia we're going to go into winter in 2 or 3 weeks' time, and I had a little bit of a fire this afternoon watching the football, and the smell of that dry red gum is absolutely magnificent. In the Northern Hemisphere you're just about to come into a summer. And I don't know how severe or how sort of non-summer you're going to have, but it's the changing of seasons that are absolutely essential to what you're fishing for and your success. Whether you're fishing for carp or zander in Holland, or you're fishing for trout in the United Kingdom, or what other species, particularly in Northern Europe, but in Australia, the trout fishing season is coming to an end. It's getting very, very cold. The fish are ready to spawn, and that's what I'm on about right down the barrel to you now. Go fishing to suit the fish. Learn the habits of the fish you're going to actually target. Because if you just go to suit yourself, you'll get very, very ordinary results. But if you go according to the tide, which is a major feeding area for the fish, to the moon, which can be very, very productive, particularly at first and last light, or whether you've got a shrimp pattern or you've got a minnow pattern and the fish are actually smelting or chasing those minnows, it all comes down to preparation. Now, you wouldn't go on a picnic without cutlery and a car rug and a lovely ham roll and just a small little red or white Chardonnay. But I'm talking about planning, and that's what it's all about. Our first segment tonight goes to a very, very special place to me. It's called the Central Highlands of Tasmania. And the two main lakes up there are Arthur's Lake and the Great Lake. Of course, you've got other lakes, like Woods and a couple of others, Echo and a couple of others around the Central Highlands. But Jimmy Allen, he spent a lifetime setting up his tackle stores called The Complete Angler. He's been on my radio show, he's been on my television show, he's a nice friend of mine, and he's been very good in teaching me the ins and outs of fly fishing, particularly in the Central Highlands of Tasmania. We pick up the action in Pump House Bay at Arthur's Lake, Tasmania. This is Jimmy and me.
One with
Rex.
Kissing them, throwing them back.
Oh, thank you, mother, for the rabbit. Oh, unbelievable, folks.
One with
Rex.
fishing, kissing them, throwing them back.
Rexy boy has done it again.
Today, folks, we fish with the complete angler, Jimmy Allen. We travel to the Northern Highlands of Tasmania on Arthur's Lake for some magnificent fly fishing for trout. And Bushy heads for Uepi Island in the Solomons to fish with a young gun in the mangroves.
One with
Rex.
gun fishing, kissing them, throwing them back. One with
Rex.
gun fishing, kissing them, throwing them back.
Well, folks, it's no secret that I love fly fishing, and it's no secret that the reputation of the Highlands of Tasmania travels the entire globe. With me is Jimmy Allen. Many of you know him, as I call him, the Complete Angler. And I reckon that's a pretty good description of a man who has dedicated his entire life to the art of fly fishing. Here at the Complete Angler Lodge, people travel from right around the international globe in search of a wild trout fishery that has a fantastic reputation. But sometimes, Jimmy, the trout don't read the script and they're very hard to catch, because if you aren't there with the proper imitation with fur and feather, you might as well go down to the fish and chip shop for a feed.
That's right, Rex. It's absolutely imperative when you come to Tasmania, particularly in the autumn, to have certain patterns to match the hatch. And I've got a few things to show you, Rex. Firstly, we'll start off with what I consider the most significant pattern of all, and that's the beetle patterns. Here we have a gum beetle, and of course my favourite, the Great Lake beetle, the big red beetle there. And to match that hatch, we have gum beetles there, and we have my favourite fly of all, which I think probably is the most significant all-round pattern, the red tag. And the red tag's my favourite, and of course it matches the Great Lake beetle admirably. And so we've got mayfly nymphs there, and if the fish aren't up on the surface, perhaps we'll have to go down under the surface for mayfly nymphs, or fish with a nymph. So there we have the actual mayfly nymph, and here's a couple of patterns here, just tied out of seals for pretty humble looking flies. And here we have a floating nymph, so if they start hatching, we can fish on the surface with a floating nymph, and you'll see that's got a little bit of a hackler, so it will float. And this year, Rex, for the first time for 7 years, we've got a few jassids.
I've heard of them before. I spoke to them on a plane with former Prime Minister Malcolm Fraser, who said, if you ever want to know what frustration is, get a jassid hatch on Arthur's or the Great Lake and don't have an imitation. Is that an over-exaggeration?
That is actually 100% true. Now, firstly, have a look at it. It's like a little red cicada with an absolutely scarlet belly, and here I've got for you half a dozen jassid patterns. There's two different types here, one with a little wing and one with a wing case. But you see the scarlet red body, and we'll use jassid patterns if they get onto the jassids. And at Arthur's Lake and at Penstock and a few of the other waters, jassids reign supreme in the few years that they hatch. Now, I've also got a beadhead nymph there if we really have to get down underneath the surface of the water and scratch along for a living. But if you're coming to Tasmania, it's also important you have a few ant patterns, a few caddis patterns, like Royal Coachmans and things, and because if you don't come with a good selection of flies, sometimes you have to match the hatch. Other times it's not so important, but most times when the fish get finicky and they get on jassids, you have to have that jassid pattern or caddis pattern or mayfly pattern.
Let me tell you, folks, when that man speaks, it's like Shane Warne teaching you how to do a leg spinner in cricket. It's a fascinating art, and fly fishing's more than just catching a fish. And I tell you what, this might look like a scene out of The Nutty Professor starring Jerry Lewis. It's a fascinating art, fly fishing, but I think, Jim, we've had enough of this. Let's hit the water.
Oh, look at that, Rex! Look at that!
Well, I tell you what,
He went for it. The change to the nymph, and suddenly we're back in action.
what Jimmy's talking about is the fact that we were fishing dry fly here with a little bit of an overcast sky in the Central Highlands of Tasmania. And a lot of people who fly fish down here would know that that spells duns, which is a stage of the mayfly. However, no mayfly duns came forth, so we decided to come fifth and cheat a bit and put a dual nymph rig on. I've got a little wet fly and a little Tom Jones on the end, and Jimmy has caught a beautiful... His mouth is in the side of his pectoral fin.
I think we foul hooked him.
You foul hooked him. But look at the golden flanks of that fish.
But he still had a go at it.
Look at the golden flanks of that magnificent fish. A male, and I can tell you now, well, he's an absolute beauty. An absolute beautiful specimen. However, as we've said before, this fish does not go into the frying pan, because the unwritten rule of fly anglers right around the globe, Jimmy, is if you foul hook them...
Catch and release. Catch
and release, and in your case, kiss and release. Can we actually get that on tape again, ladies and gentlemen? Mr. Jim Allen. And the only reason I'm not going to kiss him, because I don't know where Jim's lips have been. I'll kiss him on the cheek. That's a beautiful male fish. That is what trout fishing is all about. And he wants to go, so certainly we can sort of let him go. And
he's away.
Goodbye, my friend.
He's away. Ah, well.
There he goes.
Well, there
How
you go,
about
Rex.
that? So the lesson, folks, is well, Mr. Consistency here will always pull them out. And whether there's a little bit of luck involved, you need that in every style of fishing. But the big thing is just be persistent and never give up. And that's a good lesson in life. Let's see if we can do it again. Now, folks, you usually know, but I go like that to look at you people. But for obvious reasons of safety in fly fishing, I'm leaving my glasses on. Jimmy, you have been part of a very vocal local body who have been critical of the draining of this lake and the possible interruption of one of the finest food chains in southern Australia of mayfly. Is that correct?
That's right, Rex. We've been worried about Arthur's Lake because with Lake Sorell getting so coloured and the loss of Penstock Lagoon, Arthur's Lake is really the jewel in the Highlands of Tasmania. And so we've been arguing with the Hydro-Electricity Corporation to keep the levels up, to keep the weed beds and the mayfly hatch in December, January and February, and generally for the good all-round being of the brown trout fishery here. But unfortunately this year they want to erect another electric pylon set over in the cow paddock, and so consequently they're going to drain the lake down to the minimum level to keep some sort of fishery going and erect those pylons during the winter this year, so we're going to lose the level. But hopefully we'll get a wet winter and she'll be full again next year and the mayfly hatch won't be too damaged.
In this user pays time in human society, where the farmers pay substantial money and buy the water for their own use. And I suppose this is sort of along the same lines, is that the fishermen only pay a few bucks to fish in here, and the real money comes from the production of hydroelectricity.
Absolutely, and of course irrigation, because this water goes into the Great Lake from here and then down into the Poatina hydro station, and then of course out through Cressy in the northern half of Tasmania, and is used for irrigation. And as you well know, we've had an extremely dry summer, and so all the farmers desperately need the water as well. So there's the double use of water, and of course we fishermen come third.
Well, we're giving it a bit of a go here tonight, folks. So we've gone wet fly fishing. That is a combination of fur and feather to imitate nymphs and small fish under the surface of the water. At the moment, my nymph is in the left ear of my cameraman, Harry Alphabet. And I tell you what, I think I might have taken his ear off, because I just asked him before, folks, would you like a cup of tea, H? He said, no, I've got one ear. Thank you very much. I think I'll get it out of your earlobe. Thank you, Harry.
Wahoo!
Oh, Harry, what a magnificent... I think, Bob, he invented the Steadicam. He a very knowledgeable cameraman, but he had the old seal's fur nymph in his right earlobe. Arthur's Lake, very, very special place. Lynn and I used to go down there and hire John Fox, a local guide. I'd do a bit of fly fishing, Lynn would do a bit of spinning, drift spinning, and then we used to fish mud-eyes, which is a dragonfly lover, long way down in deep water. So we'll get back to the Salmo Trutter very, very shortly, which of course is the brown trout. No surprise that Fishing Mafia is on board, and good to see you fellas. I think I said a couple of weeks ago, lovely segment on the Fishing Mafia Facebook page of float fishing in the Exford Weir. I think they call it the Melton Weir, which is damming the Lerda, Derg and Werribee rivers before it continues on in the Werribee River right down to Port Phillip Bay. So good on you, Mafia. Greg Lockwood, what a famous name that is in the boating world, and Greg's always been very, very good to us, so thank you. People say it's a shout out. Well, I give an old-fashioned cheerio to Gareth Morris. He's in the United Kingdom at the moment. When I usually watch the opening session of a test match, it's about 11 o'clock perhaps in the morning over there. Don't take it for granted. But Gareth is targeting smoothhound. And to my mind, a smoothhound is a type of shark. Similar to a 7-gill or a school shark or a gummy shark. So Gareth, great to have you on board, and hope that you get a nice feed of shark today. Tassie Adventures is on board. You know what a beautiful place you've got down there. Fishing with Geordie, good to see you. And the old lawnmower's on board. Zoom! He's just fantastic. and Stephen Slideways. There's a story about someone sliding down a banister, but I won't go on with that because it's a family show. Well, I think so. So Bob and Daniel are ready. We're going back to Arthur's Lake in the Central Highlands of Tassie. This is Jimmy Allen and Rexy continuing to give the Selmo Trutter, the brown trout, some serious trouble.
Rex. Gone fishing.
Oh, he took it, Rex. Gee.
I tell you what, that nymph is working all right.
Oh, it's a nice fish
Oh,
too.
that is
Look
a
at
nice
him.
fish.
Yeah,
I tell you what, that is an absolute beauty.
Let me get under control here. Oh, left foot there. That's all right, no worries. Come on, baby. Oh, look, he's a nice fish too.
He's a beautiful fish.
He's taken the... Oh, look at the size of him.
Yeah, what a lovely fish.
Green back of him.
I think it's also worth just taking a moment that a lot of fish, Jim, are lost at the landing net. And probably 90% of fish lost, whether it's fly fishing or marlin fishing, are lost right at the edge of the boat or the bank of the river, isn't it?
That's right, Rex. Well, it's just a matter of, with the shot of the landing net, to not panic and just take the easy shot when it comes. Look at
fish.
it. Look at that. Look at his green
He's a
back.
super fish. At this stage, I've got the net in the water, and Jim is actually bringing the fish towards the net. And as soon as he's over the top, we just go like that, and that's the end of the ball game. Yibbida yibbida, that is all, folks.
Now, that's
a beautiful male fish. I'll just lay it down there because I think that Harry and the viewers at home can actually see what a beautiful fish that is. Hey. That is a beautiful example of a lovely homebred Tasmanian trout. A beautiful male, and have a look at that nymph in the side. And Jimmy, the nymphal stage of many insects in the Highlands of Tasmania, an intricate part of the food chain.
Oh, absolutely, Rex. And of course, it's the nymph before the mayfly hatch. And when things aren't active, like they haven't been this afternoon, we have to go under the surface of the water with a nymph, and that yields success. It's taken us a long time to get there, but late in the afternoon we've just managed to catch up to a couple of fish.
I might just put this one back and just say something. Just say something then. Just nice and easy, mate. Nice and easy. I'm just going to let him go and make sure that he's okay. And down under the boat he goes. Over there is an area called Hydro Creek. All of these successful impoundments, although a lot of them, like Arthur's and the Great Lake, are natural watercourses, have been altered by man and his progression. The levels of the water have risen, but at the end of the autumn, Jim, they close these systems down and they go up these creeks in their millions to spawn.
That's right. In a month from now, Rex, we'll see fish congregate around the mouths of all the rivers and all the creeks, and then, of course, the season closes. And, of course, come May, they're all up in the creeks, and some of the best sights you see is thousands of fish all just lying there doing their thing.
I noticed before the group of sheep actually, when we were filming there, actually moved away.
Well, good sheep will do that, Rex.
So I believe. Thank you very much. Right on cue. Oh, Jimmy took it right at the boat and he's gone under. Oh, look at him.
Good on you, Rex. He's gone straight under the boat on you. Your rod tip in the water there.
Get the rod tip down like that?
Yeah, why do they do that? Look at him.
Oh, because he said there's Jimmy Allen. Who's that big ugly fella with him?
Yeah, but they seem to always want to get under the boat.
I tell you what, perseverance has been the key today, and it's a good lesson for the people out there, Jim.
Well, you stuck with the wet, I played with the nymph, and finally, patience rewarded. Well, where is he gone? Here, let me get the net.
He's all right. Oh, he's a nice fish too. I tell you what, he's a lovely male fish.
Careful.
Have a look at him.
Oh, look at that.
What a beautiful fish, Jim.
Yeah, gorgeous
I tell you
colour.
what, he's a beautiful fish. And I tell you what, folks, he pumped one of the complete angler specials in the side there. Have a look at that. Don't know whether it sort of imitates anything, but he saw fit to take that. That's a beautiful example I reckon about 1.1, 1.2 kilo. Mate, it's your lucky day. And I say, mate, look at that hooked jaw. I tell you what, Jim, the fish we've got have been tough, but they're beautiful examples of why Tasmania is a world-class trout fishery. There you go, mate.
Red spots, Rex.
Just beautiful. There you go, mate. Oh, look, that's fantastic.
He's away.
And just let me say to you, folks, as I expose my bald cranium to the elements again, it's been far too long since I've had my old mate Jimmy Allen. We've known each other, Jim, now since 1968, and that's 30 years ago. It's been great to spend a day on the water with you, old boy. I wonder where I got that old boy from.
Well, it's been good fun, Rex. Anyway, the Maaaagnificant scoreboard reads 1 to Rex on the wet and a couple to Jim on the nymph, and it's been a bloody good day.
And I tell you what, folks, that sums it up. A couple of mates sharing something mutual. Fishing and the magnificent outdoors of the best country in the world. Thanks a lot, Jim.
It's been good fun, Rex.
You don't think this breeze will bother us today?
No, it'll drop off once we're in the rivers.
Oh, that's good. Hi folks, welcome to Uepi Island. It's part of the Georgia group in the Solomon Islands. And today I'm here with Jason Kelly, who's lucky enough to have parents that own part of this island. And Jason's going to take us fishing. What have you got in mind for us, Jace?
Well, today I'm going to take you to the jungle to a river that's called Piongo Lavata, which translates to river largest.
Is that right? And what do you think we might catch when we get to this big river?
Well, we might get some cod and some mangrove jack mainly.
Well, that's it folks, we're off up the jungle. Come with us. Oh, what's that?
Where?
The shark?
No.
Or what?
Turtle.
No. Is it?
Looked like a...
It's a shark.
Hey.
It's going to eat your lure.
Wait.
It has. Woohoo! Jason, what have you done? Hang on tight, boys. Look out. Is he still on?
Yep.
Don't break that rod under there. Oh, look out. Just keep your rod tip in so it comes out underneath the back if you can. That's it. You can just run down the back, zip down there. Don't worry about everybody. Just run down there, poke it down under, see if you can get it round the back of the motor, back of the boat. Then we'll come back up the front. Where is he? The line's all under the boat though. Okay, back up the front. Come on, Jake.
There.
Up the front. I'll see if I can take the rod round for you. Yep. 2 secs. Where is he going? Oh, he's come out. Okay, you're back into him. Talk about hungry. These jungle sharks are pretty tough stuff. Keep a bit of weight on him.
Oh, he's got him.
Hang
Oh,
off.
he snapped.
You got done.
Snapped.
Well,
Cut
there
me
you
off.
go. Really girly.
God.
That's a good shot, Jace. You'll get hammered there. Hang on tight for us. How long have you been fishing, Jason? You look like you're pretty accomplished at it. In fact, I reckon you're a bit too good. So how long have you been doing it?
I reckon at least 9 years.
9 years? And how old are you?
11.
You must have been fishing in the pram.
Mm.
And do you like this jungle fishing, or is there another sort of fishing you like better?
I like jungle
You
fishing.
like the jungle fishing, because you never know what's going to come along next.
Never know what's in those snags.
I reckon you've worked it out pretty well.
Got one.
He's in the snags. Give him heaps. Give him heaps. What is it? Oh, it's cod.
cod.
Bit better cod, eh? You'd expect the jack to come out of there, but we got the cod. And I'll tell you what.
Hit me before.
Well, you're getting bigger, Jace.
Bigger each time. Huh?
Oh, you're definitely getting bigger. Look at that. These things have got that habit. They will get anything down their throats like you wouldn't believe. Well, he was the right size, Jace, but he just wasn't quite the right colour.
Lure's been doing good for me.
Look at that. It's a weird sort of an estuary cod. He's got all those little salt and pepper markings. Look at his tail. Big fan tail there. They're a bit of a mouth almighty, these things. They just hang down in the snags. They'll eat anything. Crabs, prawns, other fish, whatever comes close. Oh, this is a good fish. Oh, now you've upset me, Jason, catching all these fish. So now we might have to give you a bit of hurry up. That's more like it. I get him. Oh, now that's... Oh, he's only just hooked. No, I think he's all right. Now that's a bit better. Yeah, see, you upset the old bloke now.
Why
You've got to learn these things in life. You've got to rub it in, well, you've got to take it a bit. That's what we came for, folks. Whoa, sorry, fish. Nice jack. Nice jack. We've come by plane, we've come by dugout canoe. We've done a lot, but we've got a couple of pretty interesting fish. There you go.
Oh, that's just going to fall right now.
Fall right out of there. Fall out of there. Now, do you want to give him a kiss? He's got a nice mouth there. Look at the teeth on those things, will you? They're off. Bye-bye, Jack. That's one way to get in the river. Never worked with kids. I don't think I will again. We've had a great time here. And the old human electric motor, Foxy here, made sure that I wasn't left up the Pyongo Lavatar without a paddle. That wouldn't have been good.
Bushy, isn't he an absolute gem? Gee, he and Steve and I, we travelled the world with Bob and the rest of the crew and Dream Pearl. It was just absolutely fantastic. Now, bit of housekeeping. The Solomon Islands there, Uepi Island, which it's called, in the middle of the Pacific, or, you know, almost the middle. An estuary cod, but what about the mangrove jack? And the teeth, just absolutely magnificent, and they are predators. And I'm sure the fluoro deep diving lure was an original Tilson. Till and Sandra made them. Halco have since bought them out. They're still made of timber in Western Australia at Halco. But Till and Sandra were great supporters of the show. But that fluoro was absolutely dynamic. Now, we'll get on with a little bit more footage very, very shortly. But Monster Bud, he's a Tiger supporter like I am. And for those people who are north of Australia and don't understand what I'm talking about, or in the Northern Hemisphere, Richmond are the Tigers in the Australian Football League, and they were in all sorts of... They were in more trouble than a one-armed prawn and a flock of seagulls last night, and they found a way out and won, and they are now back in premiership contention. Of course, Melbourne are undefeated. Melbourne, the AFL side, and the kids there doing very, very well. Now, fishing with Geordie is on the line. Like to take me fishing, we'll join the queue, but it's very nice of you, Geordie. Down at the Werribee, estuary perch and bass sounds all right to me. The estuary perch have been there a long, long time, and I think they've introduced artificially the bass, and I'll stand corrected, but I was down at Werribee the other day and had a look at the weir there right in the town, and some beautiful galaxiad minnows going down the waterfall, or just a little sort of a trail of water down there. So there's plenty of food for the piscatorial inhabitants of the middle and upper reaches of the Werribee River. Stacey, you're in Netherlands, and people also call it Holland, but we call it the Netherlands, which is, you know, a magnificent part. They haven't been allowed to fish for 2 months because of the out of season, but in 2 weeks' time, the predator fishing starts again, and that'll be zander and a few other species of fish that you've got. Probably English perch, which are very, very nice. One of my favourite fish to eat in freshwater in Australia is the English perch. We call them redfin. Okay, that's just about it. Welcome aboard. We've got plenty more for you to come. Click a like if you like it, and we'll keep on doing it for you. If you don't like it, don't tick it. And I'd just about be in the sack now, just getting up for my first wee-wee. Anyhow, let's move on. No, I won't say what happened to me at the doctor during the week because they might put us off air. Now we're going back to Uepi Island. No, we're not. We're going up and down. We're going... there goes the auto cue, the near one, not the furthest away. We're going to Coolangatta, which is right on the border of southern Queensland and northern New South Wales on the Tweed River. That's the border. It's magnificent. But out of there are some serious yellow-tailed kingfish. Kingfish by name... Yibbida Yibbida, Kingfish by nature. They are magnificent. And just put it up a little bit there, thanks, Daniel. Is it Bushy and me? It's Bushy and me. No, it's not. It's Bushy and I. We're gonna catch a kingfish.
Rex.
Kissing them, throwing them back.
Oh, thank you, mother, for the rabbit. Oh, unbelievable, folks.
Fishing, kissing them, throwing them back.
Rexy boy has done it again. Today on Rex Hunt Fishing Adventures, we devote the whole show to tracking down the elusive yellow-tailed kingfish. And folks, the human broom Bushy and I head to the kingfish-rich waters off the Gold Coast, and boy, do we strike it rich.
Rex.
Fishing, kissing them, throwing them back.
Rex.
Fishing, kissing them, throwing them back.
Tell you what, Bushy, I'm absolutely honoured to ride in your new acquisition. We must be paying you too much, are we, at Rex Hunt?
That's the Rex Hunt U-Butte car.
I think it is the K Bush artificial reef to go on the 40 fathom mark here off Tweed Heads. Tweed Heads. Now, I've introduced the folks to many people before, but I really can't say that we're going out with Peter Bollock and his Decky John on Seamaster Charters.
Everyone will be out if we...
So don't tell anyone, folks. We've been promised a yellow-tailed kingfish.
And a big one.
We've been promised a lot of things before. Let's see if they produce the goods. Keep it to yourself. Let's go, Bushy.
Oh, yes. You're not having fun, are you?
That's what fishing's supposed to be, you idiot.
This is serious business here. We're supposed to be...
Talk to the kids about the fact that you and I sometimes can't get off the bait ground.
Well, especially for the kids, this bait fishing is supposed to be deadly serious. We're supposed to be collecting bait so we go out and catch real fish, but Rexy and I are having a ball here on these small fish. And the gear that we're using is just a light spinning reel and a fairly light rod and line about 10 pound, so we can get quite a bit of distance with the little jigs. And that means that we can cover schools of fish if these things pop up on the surface, which they're doing.
Very busy here, folks. Boys with the big Alvies are going well with the live bait, and Bushy and I having a little bit of fun here, and that's what it's all about. Just testing out a little bit of new gear. 3 kilo line. This is the bonito. What a nice looking fish. And I tell you what, come here, mate, he's got teeth in there, so we'll watch him. And the main difference, Bushy, if I can have that one, between the two is the fact is you've got a mac tuna on the bottom and a bonito on the top. You can see the mac tuna, he's got all that motley business on the top and he's a real speedster. And that particular bonito recognised by a lot of people as the chicken of the sea. I tell you what, I think I'd rather eat an emu. But still, some people's taste buds are you know where, folks. Sorry about the water on the lens. I'll be back in a minute. Whip on that rod. Tell you what, in such a deep ocean area, that is just fantastic to be using 2-ounce sinker on a heavy outfit like this, 50-pound gel spun, charter special rod. And I'll tell you what, you can really put the fun back into deep sea bottom bouncing like this. Just lifting and winding, putting minimum effort on the fish. And I reckon we might have a couple here. Get a couple of good live baits again. The top one and the bottom one are exactly the same. Some sort of trevally. I tell you what, they're beautiful looking fish. I reckon go and live bait again. I'll get our Decky John to look after these because we're here for a bit of bottom bouncing, folks, and we're going to do that to the best of our ability. But we're also here chasing a yellowtail kingfish. So stick around, because coming up after the break, we hope we're going to show you what we're talking about. This is Rex Hunt Fishing Adventures with a frog in his throat.
Wahoo!
Yibbida yibbida, 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 yibbida yibbida.
Rex. Gone fishing.
Just like any live bait fishing, folks, it's the waiting game. Whether you're in the ocean or up the top of some bass stream or casting for trout in a beautiful pristine river, Bushy, you can just never ever say when it's going to happen, but you just got to put in the time.
I reckon we'll get one sooner or later.
Peter, our skipper, is meticulously working the depth sounder to find out exactly where we should drift, and that's an important thing with charter operations, and that's why they're the skipper and we're the customers, because they know where the fish are. We've got some live baits down with a beautiful backdrop of part of the Gold Coast, Tweed Heads, Coolangatta. I tell you what, it's a nice place to be in my office, folks. I just hope I get a bit busy.
Something's banging around, but oh, big one! Yay. You told me these fish were only tame. Come on! Oh, it's supposed to come this way. This is what it's all about, folks. This is fishing. Rex Hunt's fishing. Holy hell! Holy dooly! I'm coming out with these blokes again, Rex.
Hang on a minute. Cut. We can't do any of this, folks. This is. He's fair dinkum. I'm sorry, Bushy. I thought you were mucking around.
Oh, well,
Roll the camera, Harry.
I think I've got him stopped.
You going to nominate it?
Yeah, I'd say it's a kingy.
Do you?
Ooh.
It's that big that it's actually pushed the runners of your rod around the wrong way. You got a bit to come yet?
Yes.
Isn't this fantastic? Oh, I tell you what, this is quite serious, folks. This might have been... Oh,
Come on, this way, not that way.
I don't know whether Bushy's fishing or he's in surgery at the minute, having that little operation I had
I
a couple
talked to
of
you,
weeks
folks,
ago.
but I'm having a bit of trouble.
But it's a very good example of angling, because at this particular stage 99% of the population would have actually broken off, and that's when the breaking strain comes into it. The breaking strain is that time when the angler has run out of patience. But not Bushy. He's using this magnificent outfit. Come round here with Harry. We've got to get this in. It's going to be a beautiful fish.
Weight training, if you want to come up the Tweed heads, I reckon this will be a good kicking race.
Do you?
I think we've got him off the bottom, so we've got some sort of a show. Ooh, there's a lot of puffing going on here, but I tell you what, there's 50-pound gel spun on this reel, and I'm fishing at about 49 and a half. Oh, come on.
You gave it plenty.
But,
you have to, don't you?
Oh, look, he would have got me back in the bottom.
They don't call them kingfish.
Oh, we got a gaff or a big net, or starting to feel a bit confident here.
Yeah, we got the gaff here, but just take it easy, son. Take it easy. No colour yet. Does he feel a big fish, does he?
Oh, it's a big fish. It's about as big as I want to catch.
Is it?
Oh. He's going for the bottom again.
What is the secret in fighting big fish for long periods of time?
Go
to the gym.
That's where I think I should have been. But if you are fighting fish for a long period of time, you have to pace yourself a bit. But in this situation, we're fishing the bait very close to the reef. So those first few minutes are vital. You just can't afford to let that fish get its head down and get back in the reef. And I wouldn't like to say we're going to win here, but at least we've got him a bit away from the bottom. So.
And another more important thing is that you must actually make sure, folks, that your terminal tackle is tied with the very, very best of knots, and you use nice strong doubles and nice strong trace, because anything can happen when we start to get a bit of a look at this. This fish gets a look at the dial on Bushy and I, he's going to say it's a horror show.
Oh, this is a pretty serious fish, Rex. I think this is the biggest thing I've ever had on since I've been working on the show.
Is it really?
Yeah. I might have to just move into that corner a bit, Harry, if I can get around there. Because at this stage of the fight, what you have to watch out for is if the line touches the boat, because you're at close quarters and the fish can charge anywhere. Here he is, we've got colour. He's not small.
What is it, a yakka or something?
He's not small. That was on a yellowtail, yeah.
I said, is it a yakka?
No,
Might be the yakka from the deep.
This is the biggest yakky you'll ever want to see.
This is not one of these kingies from Lord Howe, the two dogs catching kingfish.
Here he comes, Harry.
Kingfish. Have a look at that. Have a look at that.
There he is.
Wow.
Right in the corner of the mouth.
Look, what I'm going to do is I'll grab him by the tail, I think.
Get him by the tail. Give you folks a look at him, but... Whew.
He's gone. Sorry, Bushy. Very, very sorry about that.
Well, that's all right. He's happy, Rex.
Well, I suppose it's probably best that he does fight.
Yeah, you won't be
another day.
harmed anyway. At least you've got to have a look at him.
I'm sorry about that.
That's
Bushy.
okay.
Will you ever forgive me?
Oh, in about 5 minutes I'll probably forgive you. I'll show you this rig anyway, and I stole it from a guy called Steve Butler, who exclusively fishes kingfish in the Bay of Islands in New Zealand. Now, you wouldn't think it looks much like a kingy rig. It looks more like a traditional pattern oyster or snapper rig, but it's got thick jink eye on the bottom, about 200 pound, and then we've got a tricky little hook there. It's sort of almost a tuna circle hook, and that normally grabs the bait just by the front of the mouth, and when a kingy takes it, you just feel him, or when he's got his mouth around it, you yank. You don't let them run, and that always hooks them in the corner of the mouth where that one was. But it's just unfortunate he was only around that bit of skin.
Yeah.
Good little rig.
Anyhow, we didn't kiss and release. We released him. Oh, I missed the gaff shot. You're working out for yourself, folks. But the old kingfish king himself, Bushy, he's done it. Must be the moustache.
I don't think I can catch another one.
Now, I've been getting a few letters on the internet and the intermail and the interdominion and all this sort of stuff. What is this?
What is that?
Yeah.
Well, that's my missus actually puts a snap swivel through that, and she ties me up after I've been fishing for a week.
Thank you very much, you idiot.
Look, I know it's not technically correct, but look, the young people of today and the not so young people do a great job teaching people how to go fishing and go into the high seas and catching marlin and all those fantasy things. We just roll with the tape, and it was my fault that the kingfish got away, but does it matter? Not really. Just looking at Bushy there, I spoke to him the other day, and he's suffering like us all with a bit of arthritis, but what a contribution that the human moustache and the human incinerator in Steve Starling, he would eat half of his body weight on the plane wherever he went. It's just magnificent. But technically, I think the most technically correct angler that I've ever run across is Starlo. So good on you, boys, and all the crew. And it's great to get a bit of feedback. Oh, I used to watch as a kid, and now my kids are watching, and that's absolutely fantastic. We'll get back in a moment to wrap it up off the south coast of Queensland. I see Baldy's there. Good on you, Kelvin. You're a good man. Kelvin Baldwin is fantastic, whether it's promoting kids fishing or promoting the Geelong area or just, you know, travelling up to Mick Falzavari's and say, hope you're all right, Mick, and we'll send a cheerio to you, Mick. You haven't been 100%, but you stick there because Mel will look after you, mate, and you've got a lot to look forward to. But Baldy, I saw on Facebook the other night some really good browns and rainbows and reddies coming out of, it's not Murderduke, it's not Mottawarri, anyhow, the one on the back road, anyhow, it'll come to me in a minute. Wordy Bullock, that's the one. Thank you very much to you, Daniel. So good on you, Baldy, and some lovely whiting. I saw you went out the other day, and Corio Bay, it's because of you and your mates that just didn't take no for an answer. The netters will pay you. But bye-bye, the kids can catch some whiting. Tassie Adventures. Look, correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but I think Tassie Adventures is in Tassie. But I'll stand corrected. Is that the Black Death runner on the side? It was. Bushy, for you people that don't realise, he's got this rod called Black Death, and the runners go round, like, and you say, what on earth is that? What it actually takes care of, instead of having, you know, hundreds or tens of runners when the fast taper or the slow taper goes down, it goes around with the pressure of the line. Absolutely sensational. So that was a great explanation. I didn't even know what I was talking about. Wes, you love the fly fishing segment. This is Wesy Betts, my friend, who does us a favour and cleans my wife's rings. And didn't come out that well, but you know what I mean. To the fishing tip, and Wes, the lower reaches of the Big River and the Delatite and Hauqua, the reports from you are much appreciated. Naturally bred rainbows, although they've stocked it, but the rainbows have made a big comeback, even as far up as your place. And what a lovely season it is. But I do agree with Trevor Hawkins. Those particular rivers like yours and the Big and the Delatite that rely on self-recruiting fish for next season and the year after's fish, what they should do now is close it down, because in Tassie the season's been closed for 3 or 4 weeks, but that's just my opinion, which is neither right nor wrong. Now, my fishing tip for the week comes at a time where I'm looking forward to going fishing in a couple of days' time. It'll be my last trip to the Goulburn. I'm going to target some big rainbows, you know, between 2 and 3 and even 4 pound if I can get them going on a woolly bugger, on a probably a weight forward 6 on an 8 Loomis, and it'll just go whack. It'll just go out like a rocket. Now, it's important to target a fish, not just go fishing. You just don't go fishing and hope to catch a fish. You target a fish. And the most important consideration is the rod, which is an extension of your arm. The reel's just there for balance. The line is either monofilament or, say, braid, and it's entirely up to you. But what you've got to do is you've got to have a plan. And it's showing really good returns for me. When I go to the barber, I have a plan. One day I hope I don't get a polish, but one day I hope that I'll just say, not too much off the top. And I can see you all looking at me, just say, carry on, old fella, and that's about me. So, it's time for me to, although I did a release for Bushy on that yellowtail, that wasn't a yellowtail. Yibbida Yibbida, folks, this is a yellowtail.
With
Rex.
Gone fishing.
Something, well, she just nailed that. It's certainly not anything to write home about in relation to express tearaway tactics, but tell you what, this is a hefty sort of fish. It's got a bit of a Rex Hunt fish. It's got a bit of weight about it. I'll tell you what. Oh.
You've got him off the reef, haven't you? He's come
Well,
up.
I think the most important thing people got to understand when you're fishing live bait here, that the natural thing for the fish to do is to go for the reef, isn't it? Like, this is a serious fish. And I tell you what, look at the end of that rod. Look at the kicking of it. And the drag's set nicely, and you can just take a little bit of line, but oh, are there any questions?
Are you going to nominate? You're going to be brave?
Well, I don't know, they call them jewfish up here, but I'd be calling this a black mulloway if I was at Bathurst Island. Ooh. Or down in Victoria, I'd be nominating a big head-shaking mulloway. Get some going, right. He's a very big fish. Oh, I tell you what, out of 100 foot of water, she's taking a little bit of getting up. Look at the current going one way, we're going the other, and the fish is going the other. And look at that, wow. I tell you what, Bushy, if I could organise a gimbal.
Yes.
I know I've had the big V, but my producing days are over, but I've got to protect the old family jewels, if you don't mind, mate. We don't want to lose them, folks. Tell you what, Bushy, Malcolm Fraser said life wasn't meant to be easy. Fishing wasn't meant to be this hard.
He's still got some steam in him then.
Some steam in him, mate. He's got more steam than the old Puffin Billy up around Olinda. In a big fight, you've got to be able to learn how to tire a fish out. Now, yellowfin tuna would have cleaned me up. He'd be going around in semicircles and I'd be like a woof woof bird.
Got colour down here now, Rex. I can see him.
But you've got to put some strength on these fish and also have enough left in your system to lift and wind these big, gracious monsters of the deep. Look at that. Gee whiz. Well, he looked like a small fish down further, but he was still about 30 feet down. Looks like a jewfish to me.
I think he's all that small.
Call him a mulloway. Jewfish. Look at this for magnificent.
It's a kingy, I think.
It's a big, like, what's that behind it?
It's a kingy.
It's a yellowtail kingfish.
I'll see if I can get this boga grip in his mouth so we can let him go.
I tell you what, this is an amazing thing because
all right, get down there.
he didn't perform like a jewfish, did he?
Like a kingy.
You right there, Bushy? Got him?
I've got him.
Well, I've got you, Bushy.
All right.
I've got you under my arm.
Sorry about that for you folks.
Have a look at that.
Oh, you gonna give that one a kiss, Rexy?
I love you.
That.
I think I'm in love. Kiss me, kiss me. That's a serious fish.
That's a tweedhead's kingy.
That is a tweedhead's kingy. He swallowed that like there's no tomorrow. I'll just nip that out of there. We've got cameras flashing, we've got magazine editors, we've got people there trying to get photos. And I tell you what.
And we might not hang him up and weigh him because that's probably going to stretch his neck out. If you get one of these big kingies, pays to keep them flat because that will hurt him if you hang him up. But we reckon he's a decent one anyway.
He is a decent one, I tell you what. I reckon, what are we going to call him, Bushy?
Oh, I don't know, it'd have to be nearly 30 pound, you'd think, wouldn't you?
We'd call him 14 kilo, 13 kilo, I don't know.
My missus is going to kill me when she sees this shirt, though, you know.
Isn't that fantastic? So all the photos of the magazine, mate, and away you go. Let him swim again.
Here we go. Oh.
And look at him go. Do what you want to do, be what you want to be, yeah. Bushy and I want to be anglers. And I think one day we might get there. Fantastic stuff.
How about that? Two friends just playing it up for the camera, for you people at home, and I reckon 24 years ago that was, on the south coast of Queensland here on the east coast of Australia. And where have the years gone? It doesn't matter. It's what you do with your life that matters. And the thing that I think the sad thing about it is that you don't do what you were meant to do. So find something you love doing, get someone to pay you, and that's what it's all about. Now, before I go, I want to mention that I'm on Cameo, and I've done quite a few. it's a happy birthday or happy wedding anniversary, or might get you kicking a grand final for the local side or something like that. But just go to Cameo and have a look, and if you want to have something from me to a loved one, that's what it's all about. Cameo. Just a wonderful, wonderful concept. Well, it's just about time to wrap it up from Melbourne here in Victoria, Australia. We wish you all the very, very best, and hope that things get a little bit better in the world of COVID. This is a nasty, nasty thing that's not going to go away in a quick time. In Australia here, we've had some very, very worrying times where it looked like it might get out of hand, and pretty good management from the authorities, both state and national, have kept it down to a very, very minimum. But it's like a wildfire. It can get out of control overnight. Young Daniel, he's been pressing the buttons and doing a great job, and thank you, young man. And his dad's a Tiger supporter, and he'll be very, very happy. And Bob Grief, well, as I said jokingly, when I met Bob, he had jet black hair. He looked like Ricky Nelson, which is not that good because Ricky died in a plane crash, I think. But anyhow, that's a sad thing. But Bob now is white. He's the White Knight. Are we allowed to say that, Bob, or we are allowed to say White Knight? So, White Knight, good night from Australia. I'm Rex Hunt. We'll catch you somewhere soon in the wonderful world of fishing. Goodbye for now.